Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, then hit the subscribe button to receive notifications whenever a new video is shared. And here we have a lot of study materials for your complete preparation for ISC and CBSE examination for class 12. Do check it out. This is going to really help you. In this video, we are going to solve question 25a from CBSE 2023 accounts exam paper, and here we have issue of shared journals. So here we have question 25a in the books of Ganga Limited. Ganga Limited invited applications for issuing 10,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. The amount per share was payable as follows: 2 on application, 3 on allotment, 3 on first call, and 2 on second and final call. Applications were received for 15,000 shares. Okay, so using this, we can now pass the first journal entry, which is bank account debit to equity share application account, 15,000 into application money of rupees 2 per share, which is 30,000. That becomes the first journal, being application money received on 15,000 shares. The second journal is the allotment journal, equity share application account debit to equity share capital account to equity share allotment account to bank account. The question says that 3,000 shares applications for which were rejected and money was refunded, and that will come against bank account, to bank account here, 3,000 into 2 rupees, which is 6,000, and the remaining application applicants of 12,000 were allotted on pro rata basis. So 2,000 excess application that we have here, that will be transferred to share allotment account. So 2,000 into 2 rupees, which comes to 4,000. That sits here to equity share allotment account 4,000. Second journal is done as well. Now here we have to understand the ratio of pro rata allotment. In this case, it is 12 is to 10, or we can say the ratio is 6 is to 5. This will be useful for calculating calls in arrear if there is any defaulter. Let's move on with the question. What we have: excess money received with applications were adjusted towards sum due on allotment. This we have already done. All shareholders paid the allotment money except one shareholder who was allotted 200 shares. So एक shareholder है जिसको 200 shares allot किए गए थे और उसने allotment money pay नहीं किया. तो यहीं पे ट्रिक होता है, इसको समझना है that उसको allot किए गए थे कितने. अगर उसको 200 शेयर अलॉट किए गए हैं, इसका मतलब उसने ज़्यादा शेयर्स के लिए अप्लाई किया था. वो इस रेशियो से हमें ढूंढना पड़ेगा. सो 200 इंटू 6/5 हो जाएगा. ठीक है. जब भी हम लोग नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स अप्लाई ढूंढते हैं जो कि ज़्यादा होता है, सो न्यूमरेटर में हम लोग बड़े वाली फिगर को रखेंगे. सो 200 इंटू 6/5, which is 240. This shareholder had applied for 240 shares. So when he applied for 240 shares, for 40 shares he had paid excess application money of 80. 2 rupees on application for 40 shares. 40 shares which were applied in excess but he did not receive. 80 rupees that is supposed to be adjusted with allotment. On 200 shares, we expect to receive 600 rupees from him. Out of that, 80 rupees he has already paid as a part of excess application money. So from 600, we will subtract 80. So 520 rupees is the money which he was supposed to pay during allotment, which he did not pay. So that goes as calls in arrears. Let's come to the journal. Equity share allotment account debit to equity share capital account 30,000. 10,000 shares into 3 rupees on allotment 30,000. Coming to the next journal, bank account debit, calls in arrears account debit to equity share allotment account. Now remember 4,000 we have already received. So we expect only 26,000 to be received here. That is why here when you're crediting, you'll be crediting 26,000. 30,000 minus 4,000. Out of 26,000, we just calculated that we did not receive 520 rupees on these 200 shares. So 520 will be my calls in arrears. That will be debited here. And from 26,000, if you subtract 520, you receive 25,480. That will be debited against bank account. So your allotment entry is done as well. Now question reading is very important. If you see these shares were forfeited. So just after allotment, these were forfeited. The first call was made thereafter. So after that, you have to pass the forfeiture entry. If you miss the question out here, then you'll end up passing the call entry, which will not be the correct thing. So after this, now you're forfeiting the shares, these 200 shares, equity share capital account debit, two calls in arrears, two forfeited shares. Now always remember, when you are debiting equity share capital account, the called up amount will be debited. So on these 200 shares, the company has made a call of 2 on application and 3 on allotment, total 5 rupees. So 5 into 200 is 1000 rupees that will be debited here. Two calls in arrears, we just calculated 520, the same will be credited here. Two share forfeiture, 480 rupees he has paid in all because he had applied for 240 shares and at the rate rupees 2 per share on application he had paid 480. So that goes as share forfeited account or forfeited shares account. Forfeiture entry is done. After that, now the call entry will be passed. The first call was made, equity share first call account debit to equity share capital account. Now here also I have seen students missing out and doing the calculation on entire 10,000 shares. But remember, company has forfeited 200 shares. So the first call amount will be due on the remaining 9,800 shares at the rate rupees 3 per share. So 9,800 into 3, which is 29,400, that will be the amount due on first call. And then the question says that the money was duly received. So now there was no defaulter here. Bank account debit to equity share first call, 29,400, the entire money is received. And second and final call was not made yet, so there will be no entry for that. This is the list of journal that we have. For calls in arrear, it will be simple two entries, which is a simple ledger for you. So calls in arrears account debit to equity share allotment account 520, and then calls in arrears account will be created by equity share capital account 520. It will be a simple calls in arrear account, and these are the journals. Let's have a look at the marks distribution for these journals, how much marks are allotted. For the first journal, you have half marks allotted. For the second one mark. For the third one, making the allotment due, half mark. For the allotment entry where there is calls in arrear, there is 1 mark. For forfeiture entry, there is 1 mark. For making the call due, the first call due, there is 1 mark because you have to ensure that you're doing it on 9,800 shares instead of 10,000. And then receiving the call money is 1 mark again. This is the marks distribution. Hope this was helpful and helped you to understand. कोई भी doubt अगर है तो बताना comments box में. I'll help you out. If there is something new that you have learned, do let me know in the comments box below as well. Do share with your friends and stay tuned to this channel for more such videos. Thanks for watching.